Hi, everybody, and welcome to Red Wings Rant, where tirades and passion pleas for your Detroit Red Wings finally have a home. All right, got another dilemma, folks, because we saw a pretty good second, saw a pretty good third. Can we get a full 60 minutes, and can it start tonight against the league's worst franchise at this moment, the Nashville Predators? It's gravy night for the Wingdings. You sort of hope that that'll be a nice telling point for maybe some gravy on top of an absolute blowout. But to talk about the potential blowout, to talk about where or what got us here data-wise, Miramano is aboard with his Pistons jersey.
Let's go! Woo-hoo! Yeah.
There isn't a world where anybody can't be in love with this. I mean, it's the longest winning streak in Detroit Pistons history, Mike. As a Pistons fan, your whole life, more of a Pistons fan than a Red Wings fan, you are.
Don't tell everyone.
What does that 13-game win streak mean for you, Mike?
Well, it's tough to say, right? Because they've only played like a couple good teams in that winning streak, but you can only play who's on your schedule. And it's really hard to win a couple games in a row, let alone franchise record tying 13. I think for me, it shows that the Pistons have things that we wish the Red Wings had. One is really strong leadership at the top. A case in point was the Pistons barely hung on for their 13th win in a row. They still won, of course. And they talked to Cade Cunningham, their Dylan Larkin, about how that felt. And he was really mad. He was really mad that the game got that close again, because the Pistons did have, a double-digit lead, basically almost in the 20s, and they almost gave it all up. And Cade was really mad and said it shouldn't have been that close. The other thing we really wish the Red Wings had, when you have that good leadership at the top, is just the depth around the, rest of your roster. And we've seen the Pistons, part of this win streak, be without their entire starting five for multiple games. So it's basically no DeBrincat, no Larkin, no Raymond, no Sider, no, I guess we're going to say Axel. All five of those guys out, and they're still winning multiple games in a row. So
we didn't have to turn this to an attack on the Wings.
I'm just saying, that's what it's to compare it, put it in perspective. That's what it would have to be to have an equal version of that. So it's pretty GD impressive. I'm excited to see, even if, whenever that streak ends, it looks like this should be a team that wins at least a playoff round. They're just that talented. So really excited for the future, really excited for the present. And, I think the past 13 games have shown this is something that you can be optimistic about. So let's talk some Red Wing hockey.
Well, yeah, that puts the Pistons at the top of the NBA, right? The Wings right now sitting at second in the division, right underneath Tampa, who they'll be facing this weekend. Ottawa's right beneath Detroit, Mike, with 26 points.
Yeah, everybody's really jumbled together. I mean, you go on a 2-game winning streak and suddenly you can be in first place. So we have 2 opportunities to do that with what we got going on tonight. And then little Tampa Bay, who's already in first place. So it'd be really nice to, win these ones.
Yeah, no, some winnable games we talked about at the end of the last episode, even including Tampa Bay. You can get to Tampa Bay, and Cooch got hurt. So even if he is playing, there's some pain there. But yeah, but especially tonight, like we could talk about Tampa and how that's a winnable game. You're at home, but we've been going back and forth. And Mike, I put it as our episode title on the slide here. that we're still searching for that 60-minute effort. Of course, this game against the Devils, fighting hard in the second and third period, but if that goddamn first period didn't rear its head and look like we were going to get just absolutely spanked again, with how generous we were on giving up pucks and goals, yeah, it looked like we were really going to take that one on the backside. So there's a positive, right? We hate silver linings. There's a positive that we didn't just get spanked and we kept it close and we almost tied it up at the end with maybe, Mike, you put it, I think you were talking about the Red Wings. You could have been talking about the Pistons, but probably one of the most exciting 2 minutes the Red Wings have put together to try and tie up a game.
Yeah, I said it was the most exciting, unsuccessful barrage of offense I've ever seen.
Right.
The Red Wings, yeah, they lost against the Devils, but it didn't look it was for lack of trying, right?
Right. And to summarize everything I'm saying here and to get where I'm going, it's like, all right, Devils don't have Jack Hughes, but they're still a force to be reckoned with. They still have a pretty good team around Jack Hughes. And that's definitely something you don't want to forget. It's something to maybe be a little frustrated with the Wings to let that one get away. But if you let tonight get away, Nashville coming in, it's gravy boat night. They are by far the worst team in the league. They look bad. Barry Trotz is on ESPN, local radio, talking about basically saying, I don't know what the hell happened here. But of course, it's his fault because he's the general manager and he brought in all those big names that he signed, the Marchessaults and the Stamkosises. But this has been a bad team for a little bit, Mike. Somebody called out it's like game 100 or beyond game 100 for that team. So they are officially bad. This does not work. Whatever Nashville was trying to build with their big free agent signings, not working. So we got to figure out what the hell's going wrong and we got to fix it. And I think one of the easiest things is just top to bottom. Let's get 60 minutes in here because I'm it's frustrating. So you had that Devils game. There was the Kraken rebound. I believe that was what we talked about in the last episode. But our defensive issues, Edvinsson being out is not helping. It's kind of highlighting how horrible our third pair is and how horrible it gets after defenseman number 4. But beyond all that, there's a clear problem. There's a mental issue, but at least we're still competitive. We'll kind of highlight, like what that competitiveness gets you and why we're just a couple points away from the first team outside of the wild card. And by that, I mean
a couple points. Casey, welcome aboard, saying if only Grand Rapids could share some of their goals. Maybe we take another look at Shine.
Pulling in a hat trick. Trail Marks getting a hat trick last night, I think. Mike,
what's the score of that game? Is it like 10-0?
10-1, I think.
10-1. Okay.
Yeah, 10-1 with Kosa and net. I mean, a couple of problems could be solved with some of that Grand Rapids production and success coming our way. Yeah. Goaltending getting figured out, goal scoring getting figured out. Of course, we all know that won't be 1-for-1, but great point, Casey.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, we can hit that next slide there.
All right. You brought that. You were like a couple big point. I didn't know if you wanted to go deeper. All right.
Well, I saw that this was coming. No, just a better loss than usual. And I know we've been kind of hammering our goaltending too. There's some real shenanigans goals that happened in that New Jersey Devils game, which made me doubly mad because those stupid black and white jerseys are like the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Tell me you're not a fan of those.
Not a fan at all. It hurts the eyes.
Unless they're sponsored by like Pepsi Zero or something.
Right. Definitely something when you're talking about like the New Jersey Devils and, we just watched like the Rangers and Wings go at it. We spent a good amount of time last week talking about how beautiful that was. This is the opposite. This is taking away color. I mean, black is the absence of color. if we are to get scientific about it, Mike. And it was if we want to talk about what those jerseys look like, holy hell, was I not a fan. But
well, we got some comments coming in here. Blake saying it's getting to the point where I'm dreading listening to Wings talk with fans. The negativity is very strong, worse than 2019. Wow, I don't know. I feel like we have to push back on that, Blake. Maybe it's just because the expectations keep changing, so that could factor in. But he did say, hope it changes. The boys deserve better. Blake, I think if we were only doing a podcast about that third period, yes, we could definitely be very positive. That was, even though it was unsuccessful, it was a pretty fun third period. And then Whiskey throwing out there, Whiskey and Wings. How you doing, bud? Saying, I hope they can work out a package for Garland or Sherwood from Vancouver. And then he put out a trade offer that I don't know if Vancouver's necessarily leaping at, but Kopp and Big Rass plus a prospector pick for both of them would be ideal. Just in case you guys are late to the game, Vancouver has basically opened up their entire roster to trades because they're ready to blow it up.
Yeah, there was Vancouver, Calgary, Nashville have kind of signed up. And the fun one, Mike, is also the Toronto Maple Leafs have kind of hinted that there may be a couple more bad losses away from starting to sniff that trade market.
Well, they got some dudes coming back tonight, right?
Oh, I don't know what's going on there.
Nyes and somebody else are coming back tonight.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with the Maple Leafs that hard to know that they were out.
Whiskey, I don't dislike your idea, but what indication has Steve given that he'd make a trade like this?
Well, here's number one with this trade too, is that you're getting close because apparently what Vancouver wants is somehow a center coming back their way. So you're getting them. You're getting them Kopp and Rasmussen. I don't know if that's the level that they're looking for. I think they might be looking for another step up. Whiskey throws out he's throwing some heat. Mike, some chin music maybe at Blake.
No!
He says, Blake, we're all dreading the thought of listening to what you've got to say too, bud.
Woo! Janetti just got super kicked through the glass. Oh, no. Oh, no. And Dan B letting us know it's Austin. I'm hurt again. Matthews, he's back tonight.
Oh, man. Well, good for the Leafs. Andrew Williams thrown out there. We need a guy like Sherwood, like we need air. Would change the dynamic of the team. That's his second message there. Andrew's a big fan of bringing in Sherwood. I mean, I guess that's where I would challenge Whiskey and Wings trade offer. It's just like, is it good enough for them? I don't know. It depends on how high you're going on that prospect list to Whiskey. Whiskey thrown out there. Sherwood leads the league in hits. He's exactly the type of player we need. Here it comes, Mike. In the bottom six. Fix that bottom six, Mike, and all the problems are solved. Now, I had a long conversation with somebody I don't talk with a lot about hockey.
Yeah.
I summed it up pretty quickly. It was I gave them a list of like, here's the things that I think set us apart or like set us back. And it's not the forwards. Right now they're like performing a little bit better than we thought. And we also have guys on the team like Finney, Nate Danielson. We've had MBN come in and out. We still have a very young Marco Kasper. Nobody signed up this forward group to be elite, and they still have a lot of learning to do. So they're kind of performing right along the lines, if not overperforming, especially on the Finney side with what you'd ask for. The problem to me is, and I think I'm going to skip a couple slides here because the problem to me at the start of the year was defense, and right now it's your defense. It's your depth. A guy like Simon Edvinsson, Mike, not having the worst season, but it has not been as strong as it was last year. and we lose that from our lineup, and the bottom pairing just like shines as bright as a star as you've ever seen in the night sky, Mike, because it's now glaring how much depth they lack when you lose a guy like Edvinsson out of this lineup, because then you have to put Hamonic out there, and it did not look good. Evidence, we'll show some evidence here, Mike, of Hamonic just showing off his elite skill. Gets the puck behind the net. It's a coming.
Not this play. It's
a coming. Coming. Well, you know what? We'll give Hamonic a shot here. Look at him go. Look at it. Aw.
It's not on our screen.
Did he tap that? No, it's not.
Nope. While Matt's doing that.
There it is.
Oh, there we go.
All right, we'll start it over. I don't know why it does this now. I have to hit 3 buttons to get these things to pop up, even though I'm sharing it. And there's the sound. I don't want the sound. I hate this shit. Anyway, this makes me so goddamn mad.
It's very apropos for a a snafu with the audio visual and a snafu by our beloved Hamonic there. Not ideal.
Yeah, anyway, back to Hamonic, just barely tapping the puck. Also, Talbot, I like that Max Boltman pointed out in his article from this game. Mm-hmm. Maybe close that other side of the post a little bit quicker there, bud. It's a joint.
There wasn't a lot of urgency over there.
Yeah, Hamonic right here. This is clearly a problem. What he's doing. Talbot just kind of not paying attention, probably assuming the puck's going the other way, but he's also an NHL goaltender. You got to figure he's keeping an eye on the puck a little bit better than that.
Alert. Right, a little more awareness there.
Exactly. That's my problem. All right, so back after having this clunky share of this replay here that I am just getting so frustrated with StreamYard.
I'm going to throw a few comments in there while you're getting that fixed. Just Andrew throwing in that Vancouver wants picks over prospects, according to Elliot Friedman. So it's doable. The Red Wings do have all their picks. It's all we do is hoard picks and prospects. So we got buckets of those if you want some of those. Dan B throwing out there, let's get Gudis. Well, don't hate it.
I don't.
Wait, is he still on the Ducks?
I don't. That's what I'm pretty sure he's on the Ducks right now. The
Ducks are cooking right now.
Yeah, they're still rolling. I mean, we gotta look at least at the teams that have announced that they're going to be looking into trades. Probably not first place in the Pacific. Hey, can we have your Radko Gudis?
Whiskey thrown out there. We could make a play for not EP40, Matt, but MP, whatever his number is, from Vancouver. But they literally just spent a first to get him before the deadline last season. Well, maybe we do a reverse Jake Wallman, right? And then they have to give up a second to put him on our team, right?
Yeah. No,
that works. Reverse Wallman.
So here's, I mean, anybody to add to this is great, or to make some changes on this roster. I'm probably going to be a fan of, because I just was so not a fan of what's on this roster right now, and a lot of head scratching.
You're ready for some head scratching? I think we're getting a Gustafson sighting tonight. Is that right?
I mean, I don't know if it's head scratching, but it's just more of the this is all we got. Let's let her roll.
We got a bid for comment of the episode. Ken Young coming in hot. How about a ginger line? Comfer, Appleton, and Danielson. I like that a lot. The ginger balls. Let's go. Thanks, Ken. So there's definitely some concerns on defense. So as much as I know Matt wants to pilfer EP40 from Vancouver, Matt, is Quinn Hughes completely off the board?
Well, I had a sneeze coming.
Yeah.
He's off the board because we all kind of know he's headed to New Jersey once he's a free agent. So if you trade for him, you've got him up to the point that he decides he's ready to go to New Jersey. if you want to trade for him because you think you can get him for a low price, and then you can start to dangle him over New Jersey and be like, hey, I got him right now. You won't have to wait. You got Jack's out right now. You get Quinn now, and you're good to go. So the whole idea is that, and they've made it very apparent. Even Vancouver's front office has been like, well, if we can't get Jack and Luke over here, we're not going to be able to keep Quinn. Basically, blaming it on external circumstances as opposed to like trying to lock down this contract. But yeah, they've already given up on their abilities to pull in Quinn. So that's kind of the game you'd have to play on the Quinn side.
So is it? And I thought I saw something that Hronek would not be made available. Is that right?
He's got a full no move clause, and his agent threw out there on X or Twitter a big reminder of that. So Hronek doesn't want to move, which is like for any player on that team, this is just wild. You're just like, no, I'm in it. I'm in for the long haul. This big bag of shit. Just keep it rolling, baby. Yeah. So that's pretty wild. Unless it's just like Hronek's agent calling out, like, yeah, I'll move, but I'm going where I want to go. And I don't think top on his list is the team that got rid of him for a couple of draft picks. So I don't know.
Real quick, whiskey thrown out there. New Jersey doesn't really have a spot for Quinn. Are they really going to push Luke, who they just gave $9 million to, down to the second pair?
I think absolutely. I think they've made it like pretty obvious, the three of them, that at some point, if it's not New Jersey, the three of them are going to be playing together at some point. So they'll make it work,
Which is how it should be. Thank goodness for LeBron James. Kickstarting the player empowerment.
I mean, yeah, go for it.
Get all the Hugheses together.
No, I mean, if you guys want to look at it strategically on New Jersey's roster, I don't think New Jersey cares either. They're going to be very happy to pay as much as Quinn wants to bring over one of the best, American defensemen we've ever seen. Stuck in poor Vancouver. Wow, Casey wants to bring so you're going to bring Jack and Luke over, and then do you even have enough at that point to bring over Quinn? What if you just trade for Quinn from Vancouver, you trade for Luke from New Jersey, then you just have to wait for Jack's contract to run out, and then he'll sign with us. We'll be good. It's a good strategy. It's long-term. It's just what Steve likes.
Whoever, a lot of this stuff and getting is it Roman Josi out of Nashville? Don't hate it. I feel like of anybody who first brought up Sherwood, that's the one I could see the Red Wings being a part of, because the asking price is going to be really low for a bottom six forward who's only making $1.5 million, and he's 30 years old. This has got Steve written all over it. How about a sixth rounder?
The thing about Josi too is that Nashville's going to have to be looking to make some long-term moves here, because they've really screwed themselves over with all of these contracts they signed. So that there might be a way to get that, work in a little bit of retention. The price will be a little bit lower than it would be alternatively. Whiskey throws out there probably one of the bigger concerns. You're not getting like a Norris candidate anymore. You're still getting solid defensemen, but that's where you're going to need some retention to make this make sense, kind of thing. So
yeah,
it's another thing to mull over. It's just, you got to weigh the problems. Like, are you going to spend a little bit more to have them retain? Or, like Steve loves to do, you do none of these trades and you just kind of cross your fingers that everybody learns how to score.
How about this? If the Red Wings don't make a move, but you see the asking prices are nauseating, do you feel a little bit better? Like they would have wanted ASP 2 firsts, because that's what it's going to cost, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, right? Because you're saying like ASP feels like we don't have a perfect defenseman right now, but we're seeing so many flashes, and the positives are outweighing the negatives. So my first instinct isn't to get rid of Asp, where that feels like it's a hole on the defensive side that we've already filled. So it's just like that's always been the problem with this roster and what Steve's building is that it moves so slow. You're not at the point yet where these guys are either like they're a main piece of this core. Like you're not gonna start taking calls on moving Lucas Raymond when he really looks like the best of both worlds, a two-way forward that can score and scores with passion and grit. Like that's what it seems like you found. And it's like, are you going to be shipping that out? What are you improving there? Yeah. Same conversation with Sider, but then this defense is just so barren. Like, look how horrible it looks with Edvinsson being out. And then if you're talking about like replacing Axel with like an old fart, like
no, I think you really only move Axel if you're getting one of the big dogs out of Vancouver. And I'm not dying to do it, but I got to feel like if they're trading a big dog, why wouldn't you get, a top prospect and not, does Marco Kasper, does that, excite other teams?
I mean, that might be along the lines of that conversation starting with Vancouver where it's Axel, Marco Kasper, or Nate, another prospect, and then a few draft picks, and you just sprinkle that all on top. And they've got one guy with some NHL or two guys with some NHL experience, still very young prospects. But I don't know. I am not sniffing around Quinn Hughes. It is a losing game where you're giving up so much to have Quinn Hughes walk away to New Jersey. So I'm good. I do not want it.
Oh, the big dog I meant was your guy. The $11.5 million man. Yeah.
I don't know. The no move clause is in, Mike. So
yeah. I think it'd have to be a couple Pedersons to get me going. But Whiskey's thrown out there. Sherwood or Connor Garland are exactly the type of player that gets Stevie stiff. I feel like if you want, you can get this fan base stiff by making it feel like, we're part of the action and the activity that is the open market of acquiring players. People have kind of heard of Connor Garland. I think they'd be pretty excited about that. And then Blake saying, give me some tuck. Tuck it in, Blake. Tuck it in. I like it. We're trying to.
Tuck's going to be another one that the free agency pool, Mike, is so. There's not going to be like any fun next year for free agency. Alex Tuck will end up being the top forward out there. He is going to get paid, and he is going to get majorly overpaid. I get what you're saying, Blake. Like, that is one of those things that kind of seems like it would cross off a couple of things off our list that we need. But to think about it more strategically and the long-term effects of having the Alex Tuck now that's going to be on your roster and having to pay that a little bit more to make that make sense, to have him long-term. Oof. Ouch. There are good and bad things for everyone on this list, including focusing on trading and upgrading the bottom six does not solve anything for your shooting percentage. I love you guys.
I just wish it wasn't devastating, to move to brink it up to the first line, because then there's nothing else on the other lines. It's tough. But the defense that's still priority one. We still haven't figured that out.
I did call out though. We haven't really given him his I don't know, his pats on the head. Albert.
His flowers.
Thank you. His flowers. Thank you. Pretty good night with Sider. Asked to do a little bit more. He was not a problem whatsoever, and I saw quite a few times. If we want to talk about the eyeball test, Aljo, Mikey, skating around pretty clean. Gets put on a defensive pairing where he's got to put on a little bit more offense, and he's being asked to do a different role. It looks sneaky good. It's one of the things that when we were looking at like SHL highlights for Aljo before he came over here, we were always talking about how he would join the rush and what a smooth skater he was. And then those were the comments from our scouting staff too. It's just like, yeah, this is going to be an exciting kid. He'll be on the NHL roster someday. Not saying he's replacing Edvinsson, but it was nice to see, like, with all the problems I feel like we do have, if there was one more defenseman in the top four, letting Albert handle the bottom pairing, I am totally fine with in the long term. I'm starting to build my trust for that guy more and more. But of course, at this point too, we have to honor Moritz Seider, of course. Now most multi-assist games. Let's count the asterisks here. By Detroit Red Wings defenseman prior to turning 25. Okay, whew. It's a pretty good list, but yeah, it's still quite impressive. And again, he's coming away with 7 blocks on the same night that he kind of breaks this asterisk filled record. But still, I mean, Seider's good to go. This is an elite defenseman. He's now, if you take a look at like fantasy rankings, Mike, he's number 9 of all defensemen in the NHL.
Yeah,
fantasy rankings really silly.
I was gonna say I'm really excited for him to start having some Nick Lidstrom nights where he plays 39 minutes a game because it's not that far off.
Well, also gets a couple playoff games. We're gonna go into overtime. We'll get there.
Oh man, we got another bid for comment of the episode. Jaron saying Red Wings, whatever. Frank Ragnow, yeah,
he's back. Speaking of somebody being out of the lineup and so many glaring holes being made apparent, let's fill one of those holes, Mike, with one of the greatest centers in Detroit Lions history. He's back. And apparently in game shape was the last report that came out from
that's insane.
What's his name?
There's no way that's the case. That's insane.
Game shape. Mike, what's the strategy here from the Lions? What's going on?
I think
the Lions was this a part of the plan.
I think the Lions were doing that YouTube rabbit hole where you just watch best returns at WWE Royal Rumbles, and they're like, we got to do one of those. And I wish that the legalities didn't require them to release it through his agent, put it on Twitter. If they just did the starting lineups for tomorrow's Thanksgiving game, and starting at center, 3-time All-Pro. And just watch that crowd just blow up with the John Cena-like return of Frank Ragnow. Oh my God, what an emotional orgasm for the entire city of Detroit and Lions fan base. Yeah, if you guys are not on base with what's going on with the Lions, there's never been a fan base more excited for the return of an interior offensive lineman than the Detroit Lions. We think that he's going to turn our entire season around to the point where we're going to play for a Super Bowl because of a center. Incredible stuff, Matt. I don't even know what to compare it to for Red Wings. Is that a second line wing? He's back. He's back. It's insane. But anyway, I did want to touch on another comment that was actually hockey related from Whiskey, because I noticed it too, and it really bummed me out. He just said, Kane literally quits trying when he moved Cat off of his line. I was like, why does Kane suck now? He's just done. If he doesn't get to play with his best buddy. So Whiskey continues, if you move Cat up, you need to also find another winger.
Which it seems to me that's why Frank Ragnow came back, but so did Mike Finney. Finney returned to the top line. They did dominate. By the way, they were fantastic. I mean, the entire team dominated possession wise. I don't know. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. We've been talking for a while. You know what? I do have to do this, Mike. I have to apologize for everybody that's here. We got in trouble. So
we got in trouble.
Yeah, you guys, just bear with us for a minute. This had to come back. I apologize.
Spinoramas, Michigan goals, and those heart attack Cam Talbot sprawls across the crease. If you're living and dying with every Red Wings highlight like we are, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. They're an official sports betting partner of the NHL, and they're making the action even sweeter. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Yes, the same feeling as watching Lucas Raymond pick a corner, but for your wallet. So do what we do every game night. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-7897-777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. Pass-through of per wager. Tax may apply. In Illinois, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved.
Okay, we're done. Whew. Mike,
was that AI? What was that voice?
Yeah, that was AI. Mike, 5 on 5 analytics, good process, bad results. So here's the thing.
By the way, Blake, I think we are getting Talbot tonight. Is that right?
Oh, what is? I mean, we're just a couple minutes away, right? We should know.
Yeah, they should be in net skating around right now, but we'll let you continue here. The slide.
Yeah, look that up. Mike, 5 on 5, 11th best expected goals.
Huge.
Never been that high. However,
yeah.
5th worst, high danger, actual goals. League worst, medium danger, actual goals. Mike, we are getting pucks on net. But our 3rd worst shooting percentage is definitely hurting us. And that save percentage, oh boy, especially on the medium danger stuff coming back our way, it's not pretty.
Let me ask you this, Matt.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: are these stats based on us not having good shots, or do the Red Wings just pepper you with so many shots you're inevitably going to have a low percentage because you're just firing 60, 70 shots a night?
Well, I thought that we are sort of like 50-50. From like a Corsi on high danger side. Yeah. It's just on the actual side, things just are not going in. It's I think when you look at shooting percentage and you look at save percentage, and tying it to PDO, they've always called it like puck luck, but you and I have talked for a little bit here, and it's like when does this start to turn? Because that reveals that it actually truly is a measure of puck luck. But if it doesn't turn, it's a measure of skill. And I am super concerned that that's just where we're at right now. It's still consistent and has been dropping. It's not even like we're on the ups. We've had one good game in the last week that made us feel pretty good, where we had like a 14% shooting percentage, but you peppered New Jersey again. You own the puck. You had Patrick Kane on the doorstep. Was it 3 times in that last 2 minutes, or maybe in the last 5 minutes? Definitely once in the last 2 minutes. Yeah. And he just couldn't get it past. And that's one of the skill guys that when he's in those situations, you expect maybe 1 out of 3 from the doorstep to go in. And let's not forget when Jonathan Quick just went and did an oopsie daisy on Patrick Kane's stick when he was right in front of the net too. That might be more of an effort kind of thing, but I'm struggling right now, Mike, because you look at all these, and again, PDO, what is it called? Is like kind of tongue in cheek is the puck luck stat, but consistently being this low, being the 2nd worst, it's not great. And it just, like, Cam Talbot was supposed to be our saving grace, right? And he turned in a Gibson stat kind of night, Gibson stat line, low 80s save percentage, not a ton of shots coming his way, and he don't give a fuck. Well, I mean, maybe John. Cam seems to give a little bit of a fuck most of the time. But I think we have like some good pieces in place. I think the structure's good. I think we have the right coach. I'm still worried about missing like another top 6 talent. And I know all the conversations have been, even from my side, that the third pair is a glaring hole. I know that we want to bring in some more grit on the bottom 6. I think we saw with Lucas getting pushed around, that there's just no consequence for beating up a Lucas Raymond. So surely those things exist. And, for all intents and purposes too, like there should have been a power play at the end of that Devils game where the Wings probably would have had a better chance to tie it up with a 6-on-4. Forget that. We're not going to talk about that. But I'm just saying, Mike, not every game are we getting beat up. Not every game do we get in tussles where we get manhandled. So there are a lot of games. There's a lot of shots on net. There's a lot of possession of the puck. We're 11th best in expected goals. There's a lot of opportunity there.
So we just need more games. All these goals, leaving right out, we'll be fine. Because as Blake says, there's plenty of skill on this team. We're just missing the net on the high danger. It's frustrating.
Right. See what I'm saying, Blake?
Jim coming in late here at the buzzer, saying we still need a top 6 scoring forward and a top 4. He's gonna say lefty D, but I'd say any kind of top 4 D I would take. The second line not producing enough, and none on the third and the fourth line. I do wish that we had a little bit more of that magic from Danielson. But obviously he's just a boy. He's just a boy. So, I'm not expecting as much from him. But getting on that comment earlier about Patrick Kane just looking completely disinterested without Cat. It just, completely eviscerates any feel of depth on this team. Maybe we'll feel different tonight after Nashville, but that's the feeling so far.
Whiskey throws in there. The Russian Bashelnikov will be here before the end of the season. He's the missing link in the top 6. Maybe. I mean, we talked about it. You said red. I just skipped over that. I wasn't sure what you were saying there, Whiskey. My hesitation with Bashelnikov was that there was a partial episode of the Athletic Prospect podcast dedicated to him. And it was basically, the question was, how come you guys never talk about Bashelnikov? And they just destroyed our boy. There's not a lot of speed there, is what they called out. There's a lot of good skating movement, but he's really going to struggle with trying to keep up in the NHL. And that is a damning, especially, it's not like he's a huge boy, but to hear that he's going to struggle to keep up in the NHL is really
fit right in on this team with Big Rass.
Want a smaller Big Rass, Mike?
How about a medium Rass?
I've gotten less excited about Bashelnikov after listening to that. Blake throws out there, hitting the net cannot be a skill issue in the NHL. We have guys there, just put it in the pads. Blake, what?
He meant well. We're at 6:54 here. We got about 6 minutes.
We gotta go. The Preds game's starting. All right. Yeah, you're right.
Red Wings Preds. Jim has thrown out the first prediction. He's got Wings 5, Predators 2. Jim, it depends on who's on goal. I think it's Talbot. I don't have the screen open in front of me. Talbot, I like your prediction. Right. If it's Gibson, maybe 5-4 Red Wings.
I pulled up. Where is this game? How come they don't have the lineups online? What the hell? Where's
good question?
Where's that goddamn answer when you need him? I need answer to answer.
I need some answers.
All right. So
Blake with the a late shot here to get comment of the episode. He's got Wings 11, Nashville 0, and we do have Talbot confirmed.
Yeah, I mean,
right, I like
Blake, you are. It should be 11-0. This team sucks, and their GM just came out and said my team sucks. The coach comes out and says I have no answers for this. I don't know why my team sucks. So either they respond, or they're like, "Oh man, everybody thinks we suck," and you lose 11-0. So, Blake, I'm really hoping. It kind of feels like it better be this, even a close game. Man, I'm gonna be a little frustrated with a close game. I want a blowout tonight, Mike. You shouldn't ask for blowouts. It should be a blowout. It should be at least 3 goals.
Jared throwing out comment of the episode attempt. Cronwall unretiring. And a Frank Ragnow move, going to run Stamkos for old time's sake. Jared, I love it.
All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Enjoy this hopeful blowout. I'm still, you know what? As hesitant as I was.
This is a big 4 days here for the standings.
Right.
This should be a cupcake, and then Tampa, and then Boston on a back-to-back. This is huge.
Yeah, I mean, I smell 3 wins, so we'll see what the Wings, how the Wings feel about it. Blake, I'm thinking you think 3 wins. We'll see if you're happy if it goes 1-2, and see if you're still if we're allowed to be critical. I see it should be 3 wins. If it's not, I'm gonna be angry. All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. I don't know why I'm...
Let's go eat some birds.
Taking that last shot on Blake. All right. See you guys.